me tell you about Legend Seeker and how you can support its development while getting some awesome perks. By subscribing to our Legendary tier on YouTube or becoming a paid member on our Discord or Patreon, you'll get early access to all Legend Seeker lore and mechanics. This means you'll be among the first to dive into the world of Legend Seeker and give direct feedback that will help shape the game. But that's not all. Supporters will also be the first to playtest the system and will get exclusive invites to private streams where we discuss the game in detail. Your input will play a huge role in making Legend Seeker the best that it can be. Now, for those of you who love watching our tabletop role-playing game shows, supporting Legend Seeker comes with some fun bonuses for the casts. Here's how it works. If you are a Copper or Common member on Discord or Patreon, you can give a $20 benefit to a player of your choice. Silver and Uncommon members can give 2 benefits to 2 players of your choice. If you go the YouTube route, you can give a $50 benefit to a player of your choice. And for the ultimate support, Gold and Mythic members on Discord and Patreon give a $20 benefit to 3 players of your choice. You can choose from all casts across Moonskull. Every bit of support goes directly towards making Legend Seeker a reality. It helps fund the art, writing, editing, and eventual publishing of the game. So, if you want to be a part of this journey and support our shows, join our Legendary tier on YouTube or become a member on Discord or Patreon. We couldn't do it without you, and we're excited to build Legend Seeker together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game.
Hello. Excuse me, I'm going to choke to death. Nope, I'm good. I'll start over. Hi, I'm Frost. This is Frost written. I'm not choking to death on anything. I took a sip of this lovely drink that I got, and it's a strawberry sparkling something, and the entire bottom of it is nothing but strawberry puree. And wasn't ready for that when I took the first sip right before I came on camera. There we go. Who said fruit's good for you? It's not. It's trying to kill you. Don't eat fruit, kids. Stick to meat. Anyway, all that said, I'm Frost. I'm here to work on lore for Legend Seeker. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me check. I rebooted my machine right before this, so it may have reset my sound low. Let's check. A little bit. Oh, the cats are helping. If you hear galloping, that's courtesy of my cats. They were running around outside today, and now they're running around inside because it's kind of hot. All your fault that people die. Yes! Wait. Crazy driver. Why are there babies crossing the road? Ew. No. One and only time you had that boba tea stuff, and I did not expect tapioca balls. Yeah, that would be a surprise. This is good because it's literally sparkling water with a little bit of lemon squeezed in it. I think it's agave syrup or something, and just strawberry puree. And it's pretty tasty. It's just refreshing, and it's very light. It's not very sweet. But yeah. Woo. Did not expect the puree. All right. So, while I'm listening to music and stuff, I look at the map here. Those will be moved around. So after talking to Arudai, some of the government stuff I worked on will probably be, I'll move it down to another section of the book, which is the factions and peoples, which is fine. I'll move it out of the actual entry. But some of the details might end up coming out in like later supplements or adventures that have to do with the areas. But we're getting it written. We got stuff in there. We're just doing extra. Extra. How is this channel not monetized yet? I don't. You were the first Mythic Jensen? Woo! 4K within a year. Yeah, I don't know what we're at, but yeah, it would be very cool to it'd be very cool to have the monetization here. That would be amazing. I have no idea what we're at. We got a lot of members. That's good. We got to get those watch hours up. So bring your friends. Make sure if you're watching, you have it not muted. You can mute the tab, I think, but don't mute the video. Because I don't think it counts otherwise. If you can hear me, then you're fine. You're golden. And we're great. Anyway, we're working on some other stuff here. I'm going to be all over the place today, hitting a bunch of little things. I'm kind of going wherever the spirit of the world moves me here, because I'm looking at a couple of areas like Narrow's Keep and things to see if I can punch some of this up a bit. Too bad we don't have the set streams anymore. That might help. Yeah, I believe she is. I mean, she's still working on the art, even though she's not streaming right now. But we'll see. I was toying with the idea of asking Erudai if I should switch one of these from the writing part of stuff to like map planning and map writing, map making. But I don't know. I think the interspersing it just works. Sorry, I got coughing. Oh, made my nose run a little bit. Whew. I'm not killing myself. Oh, art. Okay, that's what you meant. Not set. Got it. Anyway, let's see. Where I'm at is looking at some of these cursed areas. This is there. Oh, interesting. I have an entry here that has no words in it. I never finished that entry. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'll mark that for later. I'll give myself a little bit of a highlight here. Oop. Seat of power of a noble knight. His followers, Narrow's Keep, was overtaken by Savael during the God-Killer War. Stamped out their resistance to his rule. Oh, he stamped out... Their resistance to his rule cruelly and efficiently. That is a weird sentence. Yeah, she's working on other covers. Because we got 3 books. Stamped out the resistance to his rule cruelly and efficiency. It was nearly impenetrable by any conventional force, but Savael and his agents finally infiltrated their defenses and charmed the entire population. Soldiers, nobles, and citizens. Told them to carry out a grotesque mass suicide. Weird to say entire, but I mean, the assumption is that some people would have gotten away. Held them to carry out a grotesque mass suicide. Under his influence, the entire population threw themselves off the fortress walls in unison. Hoping the waterfall thralls. Yep, okay. The bodies plummeted into the abyss below. Horrifying spectacle of Savael's dark power. By the way, while I'm going through and reading some of this stuff, think about things that you guys would like, either as a DM or if you're a player, or if you just bought this book and you're reading through about the village of Vindonis or Silverton or something. Think about things that you'd like to have mentioned, like little bits and pieces. Like if you care, like, hey, the town is got walls around it made of dwarven stone, or this or that, or what kind of elements that kind of stand out to you in your mind, things that'd be kind of fun to have. Feel free to throw them in the chat. Speaking of Silverton, that's what I'm reading right now. Dwarven village and outpost located on the Shining River. It is the Shining River. Okay, I did name it, but I didn't put the name on there. I do really wish I could put the river names on here, but there's just no room. We get a map done by somebody else. It has they can do fine lettering on paths and stuff because they'll be using an art program. That'd be great. That'd be great. That would be fantastic. Town is encircled by a dwarven fort wall. No usual sight this far north of Silver Run. Rudai is posting questions and thought-provoking topics in Discord and Patreon to try to get feedback from everyone. Yes. A history segment. Got it. So like a brief, like the city has been here for this many years, it was founded by these people, that sort of stuff. Founded over 500 years ago. I wonder if that would make sense. I'm just thinking about something here. Let me check something here. Okay. Oops. It actually put me at that spot. I didn't want to go to that entry. I want to go back to this entry, people. Right here. Right. Was only intended to be a trade post. Um, hmm. Governor here welcomes the governor here welcomes the folk of the nearby lands as long as they're willing to trade. Hmm. History segment, no events. Ah, I see. Welcomes the folk of the nearby lands as long as they're okay. Yeah, I've got an event that happens in Clayton that I'll be putting in there because that's from my other document. Silverton, Silverton, Silverton. If I actually added an event here, it could be because what I've mentioned here is it was founded over 500 years ago as a gesture of goodwill and partnership to the Kingdom of Sinus Fall. Silverton was only intended to be a trade post, but has become more of a trade hub and fallback position for the local farmer and villagers in times of need. Let me look at save this. Okay, we'll go back up to the timeline. Okay, we go back here. The Gravel of the Gods, the Modern Era. That's 1300. So we'll say this is 600. Building 1000 to 1300. We'll go with 12. We're gonna say what's a good year? Say I was gonna say the year 1220 because right now it's 1300 after the God Killer War. I was gonna say 80 years ago something happened at this dwarven place. So it'd be maybe fresh in some of the dwarves' minds, maybe some of the longer lived people, but most of the humans, it would just be a story that they were told. I think that could work. So, group of hill giants begin to ravage nearby lands, set in their sights. Oops. But we're there. We'll say lands beyond. Stop short by the dwarven. What would I call this? Contingent. Not really an army. I'd say contingent. Hey, stop short by a dwarven contingent with the help of a band of Ryland Rangers. Head. We've been harrying the giants. Skull of the skull of the giants leaders displayed above the main gate of Fulton. Hills from which a they came. Okay. We'll say the skull of the giants' leader is displayed above the north gate of Silverton, facing the hills from which they came. So these, down here, 80 years ago, the giants that were up in these hills started rampaging down through here, taking out people in villages, coming on down, setting their sights on this place. But a group of rangers from over here in Fryland, who were chasing them down out of the hills and harrying them, helped the dwarves of Silverton take them out, and they had a big old fight and a big old battle. Now the giant's skull is displayed over the gate. Aha! There we go. That'll be a fun one. Okay. What are my cats doing out there? Oh, duh. I can look through the camera. I don't have to wonder. Let's see what the camera says. That lovely little feral cat of mine who likes to be on the front porch, he is limping around because he got his front paw scratched because he got in a fight with somebody. So I tried to put some stuff on it for him and wash it off. He was not happy about that. What is she doing? She's got her front... that cat, that's the other cat who's hanging around, who's now getting a little thicker. She was like skin and bones when she showed up. She's standing there with her front paws in the... I have a big water fountain out there. She's standing there with her front paws in it, just kind of looking around. I don't know what she's doing. Cats, they're weird. Anyway, I've got a new fountain coming for them that it'll be hooked up to the fountain, or the hose on the side of the house. It's an autofill thing, so I can just turn the hose on, leave it on, and it will just sit there on lightly, and this thing will fill up whenever the cats or anything drinks water out of it. That'll be perfect. All right. We got Eldwin. Already went over Eldwin. Could talk more about Rosecrest, but that's going to be covered in a later, probably, adventure. I can't really do too much of that place. It's a very specific place. It was the capital of Lost Valara before, so a lot of crazy stuff happened there. Okay. We've got Villa Nocturna. We got Lundale. Okay, we got a whole bunch of things covered over there. Let's see. Let's go back to some of these places. Let's go to Arisium. There we go. City of Arisium was founded not long after the Godkiller War ended, originally being the semi-permanent beacon of an Agrian army camp where Ari's forces were stationed. After Ari, the demigod son of the god... Demigod son of... I'm just going to say Xander. It feels weird to say the demigod son of the god Xander, but it is very specific and it's kind of important. I'm going to leave it for the moment. After Ari, the demigod son of the god Xander, was killed, he and his followers were laid to rest in the great cairn that overlooks the city. Pilgrimages are made here by the faithful each year, both to the barrow and to the temples located there. Great farms of Arisium are the main producers of grains and foodstuffs for the Strand. The road to Silvermont in the north is guarded by the manned mile fort, standing vigil against the darkness of the Whitewood. Okay, yep. There's a mile fort there. West of the city stands an Arisium trading post, which is also around that interacts mainly with the dwarven caravans traveling between Silvermont and Silverton. And that is everybody that travels along this road from Silvermont through Silvermont, past Caratumuli, down through A4, all the way to Vindonis, Rivermont, and Silverton. So it's a huge, long trade trip, but it goes through it goes through this capital, it goes right by this capital, heads back up into their stuff, goes past their trade posts. Incredibly important road. Well, I'm back. Lol, missed a bit, didn't notice for a couple minutes. Is that bad? Well, I'm not offended. Totally offended. The god Xander's demigod son. Yeah, it's the way that I'm trying to be specific about that sentence. I don't need to say you should know by now, because at this point you're like 50 some pages or 60 some pages into this book after discussing the gods at length. So there's a lot of words in there I don't need, but that's where we'll get to the editing portion at some point. I just try to do a little bit at the beginning as I go through. All right. West of the city stands an Erisium trading post that interacts mainly with the dwarven caravans traveling between Silvermont and Silverton. Yeah, this is the Gold Road, basically. Or the Silver Road, technically. The Road of Gold is the road that goes in. The Road of Silver is the stuff that flows out. Split the description with the name. On the off chance anyone here wants to switch to and can't find one, the Costco has like 40. Wow. Jeeps. One of these is all you're already well aware of think the movies. Movies? People don't do things in movies. Okay, they try to do things in movies. What was here? What were we doing here? Oh yeah, I was gonna mention something about this in this town. I think I'm gonna make a note to myself about this. There was a specific thing with a kind of creature that I was going to do around this place, but I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that for a bit, because Ari was like the God's Bane, or the Giant's Bane. He was known as a giant killer, and Hillmouth is a giant stronghold that's just up to the north of them. So they're gonna have a very interesting relationship, a tense but also a somewhat respectful relationship, because they respect, how strong he was. And they're a lot of them, not all the giants, but a lot of the giants up there kind of have sort of turned their back on the idea of what they did during the God Killer War. Not all of them were bad. Not all of them are evil and went totally with Grix, but a lot of them did. A lot of them did. Those evil giants. So, I talked a lot about the humans and the elves and people having bathhouses and meddens and using the, what do you call it? The hot springs and all that kind of stuff. I wonder what a giant version of a hot springs or a hot bath thing would be. I'm picturing like a hot spring that's like right next to caves or in a cave or something like that. And they just sit in these massive hot springs inside a cave. So it's kind of like a big giant Turkish bath in a cave. And they just call it, they're going to the hot cave. Could be fun. Hillmouth, because the giants found it jammed massive stone menhirs into the ground around their mountain hold entrance to resemble the upjutting teeth of a massive jaw buried just beneath the earth. Entrances gained blah 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 blah. So these giants are the ones that raise mountain goats for their food and milk, and they generally avoid contact with the other people who inhabit the nearby lands. One warlord is trying to gain control of the loose council of Hillmouth, tired of hiding in the mountains like the goats they raise. Though Moss over here, the Moss area, this might be a place that would have the cool hot spring, I think, because it's all water and moss in their veil. That could be fun. That could be fun. Moss is so named because of the prevalence of thick moss. And all right, I'm going to mention in here. There it is, the hot caves. No, we haven't seen Feline yet today. Or Cajun Corey. Oh, no. I love you guys, but, you know, the whole gang's not here. It's a massive sprawl of... let's see, massive sprawl of shallow hot springs. Hot caves, which a massive sprawl of shallow hot springs. Massive sprawl of shallow hot springs keeps the... We'll see year round. Okay. Throws out gift wrapped assortment of gourmet hot sauces. I see how it is, Frost. I mean, yay, Chrysanth. Too late. I know. Damn it. Not the gourmet hot sauces. Nothing matters anymore after Clay lost his eye. The whole world's just downhill, right? I have to say, I'm glad that happened to my character. I can't imagine what the other characters would have done if that happened to them. Or the other players would have done if that happened to their character. It's very fitting for Clay, though. And now he gets to have painful visions. Oh, dear. All right, so I got that in there. This is going to work. I really want to dig into the elves at some point, but I'm doing a lot of that off screen. Because it's a lot of me looking up words and meanings and thinking about things while I'm screwing around with it. Chrysanth is being a bit spicy today. Just throw those hot sauces to me. Damn you, Cajun Corey. I no longer care that Cajun Corey's here. He's stealing my hot sauces. What a monster. Wait, how did this... How did they do that? Interesting. I am intrigued. I'm just looking at something that somebody was moving around here. Huh. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, sorry. I was looking at something completely unrelated to anything else. I was quite confused by it. Wow, this stuff is good, but it is a bit rough. It's I don't know why. Maybe it's just since it's got so much lemon in it. I don't know. It's getting to me. All right. Let's see. We've got Moss. Like I said, I'm gonna be all over the place in the world here because every time I look at an entry, I'm like, ooh, I can add a thing here. Ooh, I can add a thing here. I'm looking at Mordecai's throne right now. Which reminds me, I need to get some Creole seasoning called ASS, and I need to get the red one. The red one, eh? Why is it called that? What is it an acronym for? Do I need to know? Something slapping sauce? All right, overlooking a dark mountain tarn, great stone slabs rest on smaller stones, looking like a fallen menhir. It appears to have been intentionally placed or toppled by inhuman hands, a spot where only a giant could rest his weary bones. Believed by locals to have a link to the realm of Mordecai, and is frequented by casters, witches, and others seeking to communicate with loved ones gone too soon. Woods here are ancient, gnarled, weathered, but they're all dwarfed by the great tree the throne sits beneath. The oak's branches reach out and over the tarn, blacking out most light, causing it to always appear deep, dark, and murky. For centuries, being succumbed, tree in the throne. I think for a millennia, because it's been a long time. We'll say for as long as people can remember, beings who come to the tree in the throne, leaving offerings, prayers, and messages to their dead. There we go. Not a specific amount of time, just for as long as people can remember. Faded ribbons, wooden tokens, and small bones hang from the branches, creating a somber percussion threnody when wind catches them. Rumored to be bad luck to sit upon the throne, but youths and the unwise, their rude eye, often tempt fate by doing so. Anthony's secret seasoning. We're driving. Did you get where you were driving to, Dave? Did you get there safely? Are there any things stuck to your car that you need to get rid of? And your son, name the demigod. Ah, you're going back to that, huh? Yeah, there's a section right before that pretty much says it in that way. It's just trying to decide how to follow it up with the next segment without using the exact same wording. We got that covered. We're not going to talk about that place right now. Where can I... All right, so this... I don't have a quote for those people yet. I think about that one. All right, what was the next place that I was looking at here? I had another one in mind. It was... I just did Broken Fang last time. The other one was the Heart Grove and the Rotmoot. He's... Did I not... Oh, let's see here. Let's go to Rotmoot. All right, we're back to the Rotmoot. Ah, the Rotmoot. Fun stuff. Everything washed off nicely. No! History of town founded, saloon burned down, and built for stone building, the market and established tree with every town and made a flood in. Yeah. Yep. We'll put some of that stuff in there. Though, again, as Arudai had mentioned, we're leaving a lot of things to DMs, but we will be going in specifics when we do more in-depth entries for everything. Like if we do a thing that's like, here's the book totally on the Soul Spires, or we do something that's completely about the history of Fryland or Lost Valara or everything, or a little supplement that comes out that's got a whole bunch of stuff, we can go into a lot of detail. Especially if there's an adventure that happens in one of these, we'll use a lot of that adventure or that information in the adventure. It'll be nice to put the basics in, get your teeth into it, have some adventure hooks, and then say, hey, by the way, if you want an adventure in this area, buy this. All right. Feline and Corey never came when I'm here. They wait for Dungeon Yeti to finish. All right. Later. Have a good day. All right, Dave. You have fun out there. Are you going to play pickleball? Or what are you doing? The Dave. All right, let's see here. The Rotmoot. All right, so the Heartgrove, I only have one little paragraph here, and I do need to write more of this up because it relates to the legendary druid, who I don't think we have the art started for yet. I have gotten to see the new art for the beginning of the art for the legendary cleric. He's pretty cool. Okay, the Rotmoot. The second darker order is the Rotmoot, because I explained it in a paragraph earlier. A druidic order that worships both Arendor and Mordecai, embracing the inevitable decay of all mortal and natural things. What are these cats doing? They're just ding, 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 ding. Are they having fun out there? I hope they're having fun. All right, let's see what they're doing. Making sure they're not arguing over something, causing problems. Nope. Don't know. They just ran by, I guess. They herald natural death and champion nature, restoring itself through these entropic forces. The Rotmoot is lorded over by. I don't have a good name for him. Let's look up something really quickly here. Do. There we go. That will work. Let's see what we got here. That's a bright page. Turn my dark reader on. Oh, nope. I don't want to do that. Hit the wrong button. All right, let's see. We want only on here. We want the grayscale. We want the brightness down. We want the contrast up. Sepia, grayscale, make it dark. All right, there we go. Okay. We could call him Rock. Hmm. Well, that word is too strange. I don't think I'm going to work for that. All right, we're going to remove this. Rotmoot is lorded over by Rock, a leprous master druid, and a fungal ent. What a word for this is. Was slowly being devoured by the fungus that has taken hold of his decrepit form. They are both tended by their compatriot, a woman known as the Bone Maiden, whose face is painted with the visage of a skull and specializes in magic which borders on the necromantic. Rotmoot are obsessed with the Soul Forge, not to redeem or free them, but to end their unnatural existences to restore balance to the world. Anyone here know how Annie Burrow? Who or how? All right, let's see. What's a good word for this? The word for mushroom in Polish is Grzib. 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 I have no idea how to pronounce that. So what were you saying? You're saying anyone here know how Ambrelle was, or who Ambrelle? Wait, Ambrelle. You mean the lady with the spiky hair from the cooking shows? Maybe that's who you meant. Is there a way to pronounce this? How do you pronounce this word? It's mushroom. It doesn't show me how to pronounce it. Nobody pronouncing it. Okay, it says. I can't make out any of those. It says G3, a little I, and a P. I don't know what those are phonetically. How to say this in this room? Here we go. Grzib? Grzib is how you pronounce it. Grzib. Okay. A Punisher has arrived. Yes, Shadow Warden, a Punisher has arrived. Or something. On him, the boulder. Do. Okay. Zoop. 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 Zub. Zub. Hmm. All right, so I think that works. I think that works. Yep. All right. Yeah, she passed away and damn, I'm a few seconds behind. Time for 4x speed. 4x speed. Oh, she passed away. So she wasn't that old. Did they say what happened? I know on the old show she was like kind of like a normal person, maybe a little bit plump. And then later she looked much skinnier. So I was wondered if she was taking something, doing something, had something, I don't know, or if she just decided to get thin. I don't know. Well, that sucks for her family. All right. They have captured a soul. They have a captured soul forge. And it's say captive. Captive soul forge, but they have subjected to countless experiments in order to try and free its soul and ended up driving it mad. Uh, 55, so young, like not young, but still, yeah. And no cause of death as of yet. Okay. Well, hopefully it's nothing nefarious. Hopefully it has nothing to do with what is it? That thing that a lot of people got a few years ago to help them against something. It was an injection of some sort. You know. I got a scratch on the back of my leg here, I just realized. Either that or I got a big old mosquito bite. Don't know. I sat down on the floor or the pavement outside in the sun today, hanging out with Kibble and the other cats, and didn't realize until after a couple minutes of sitting there that there were a lot of ants on the sidewalk who were annoyed with me sitting there. So I'm like, oh, great, I got ants on me. I don't think any of them bit me because, well, they're tiny little ants, but it was annoying because I had to get a lot of ants off me. They're like, it's the giant, get him! All right. Anyways, they have captive soul forged with tips, subjected to countless experiments in order to try and free its soul. But they have only ended up driving it mad. Is read. I'll edit this later. It's read no bonds, dark magic, its will gone. Tethered to their grove, they now use it to hunt its own kind. All right. Darkmire is the other place here. Darkmire is a fun place. Fun place / thing. Founding the domain of the Rotmoot on two sides is brackish, fetid salt marsh. As a result, the Xerath cultists attempt to halt the advance of Grixis forces during the God-Killer War. After its spawning, it laid in wait for the evil army, but ultimately ignored the cultists' bidding, flaking its thirst and hunger on all who approached, even them. To this day, it lies there, churning the fetid methane-rich waters, fire bubbling up through the peat and bracken, feeding on anything foolish enough to enter. Being as a patron of the cult of Xerath worshippers, and they draw power from it. It is always hungry, and its worshippers always look thin, fed upon, and hungry as well, but they control devastating powers in return. Darkmire is a convergence of multiple flows of the mana stream, which is why the place was chosen originally, making tapping into it dangerous and unpredictable. So yeah, if you go there and screw around with magic, be careful! Or just go crazy. Alright, this foul morass is born of all the seeping rot and magical pollution that eats at the heart of the Soul Spires. Heartgrove druids maintain the steady drain of the filth from the Soul Spires via the Rotwash, while some extreme agents of the Rotmoot use it for their rituals. Mums and Treants dwell near the edges of the mire as their societies benefit from the cleansing efforts of the druids, and in fact they are part of the efforts to purify and reclaim their homeland. Long line of incredibly ancient magical pylons which block off access to an area of the Soul Spires to mortals. They're supposedly made by the Keepers toward one of their vaults. Beings who walk past or attempt to go between them have their inner emotions, failings, and all their crushing wrongs they've committed exposed. All the good they never did is revealed to them in stark clarity. Rumor has it during the God-Killer War, just after the Soulforge were freed from the mind control of Grix, a paladin of Ariel strode through this barrier. On a mission from her goddess, she was seeking a way to also free the Soulforge from their bodily imprisonment. Her tale appears to end there, as no more stories exist regarding her adventures. Many a wizard has spent time investigating the first of the tolls in the line, and they still understand little of the Keeper's magic that directed them, let alone how the magic of the tolls works to reveal one's failings. All right. That works. Let's see here. I mentioned something about this other place. Let me check it here. Okay, there we go. Dead were so numerous after the Great God-Killer War battles on the plains leading to Mount Silbermond that the great tumuli, hundreds of mass graves, as well as singular burials to great heroes were erected on the spot. Consecrated and blessed to allow the dead to rest forever in honor, monstrous creatures and good folk alike lie in silent legions beneath these man-made hills. Dwarven patrols and posted guards watch over the fields of barrows, but there are too few to guard all the graves. Over the last millennia, many have been looted. Considered a great sin to steal from the dead, but that doesn't stop folk who have little fear of the divine retribution now that the gods, in their minds, have abandoned Erudia. Yeah. This dwarven outpost is home to a host of dwarves and gnomes who tend to dabble in magic and industrial pursuits, best kept distance from the dwarven capital. Probably smart. Also, where fire sand was invented and where its initial testing splintered the headland above the city, once known as Three Falls, resulting in the formation of 2 additional waterfalls above the city and the wide renaming of the place. Okay, there we go. Sorry, just rereading this paragraph. Okay. Second Memorial. Okay. Interesting. I am going to quickly take a break here. Because I'm gonna go see what the cats are doing. What the heck they're doing out there, making all the ding, 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 ding noises over and over to the camera. If they're just running back and forth playing, or what they're doing. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna put you guys on a chair screen, so you get a chair. I'll be back in a little bit. Don't worry, no pause screen, just chair screen. Chair, look, the chair. It's the chair. Enjoy the chair. I'll be right back. Not a single cat in sight out there. I have absolutely no idea at all what they're doing out there because no cats. It's just with a cat ghost town out there. Chair looks fair to me. Impeach the chair. Get it. An army of squirrels making our driveway camera go crazy a few weeks ago. Oh man. Fun times. All right. Sorry, I just was watching some people in a little video do something just stupid because human beings are the best, aren't they? Don't you love them? LSU won its baseball game today, so I'm hoping we can win another national championship this weekend. Ah. Oop. Okay. That. All right, let's see. What was I doing here? Clear cumuli. That's right. I was writing up that stuff. And I went on to 5 balls, and I started talking about the River of Gold. Well, I started reading the River of Gold, not talking about it. Um, reading this sentence to see if I want to take out that word. Boom, boom. Bap was having a good time earlier. He was having fun. Bap, you should tell the lovely people what you decided to get me. Oh no. I'm amused. Already amused. Thought I was forbidden from telling. Oh no, it must be more than a stack of cookies or something. I'm scared. All right, so I'm just reading through some stuff. Some of this stuff I'm not reading out loud because it's stuff I'm deciding on. Books, educational books. Oh, nice. Like calculus, all that kind of stuff. Very nice. I like it. I'm disturbed. Here I was thinking pipe cleaner. Referred to by most other races, the River of Gold, the Dwarven caravan is always a sight to see. Been attacked in the past, and none have yet been sacked by mortals. One is rumored to have been destroyed and looted by a dragon in years past, though. Let's say this. One is rumored to have been destroyed and looted by past, though. We'll say that. What kind of educational books? Pun books, joke books, dad joke books for Daughter's Day. Oh, that's nice. At least it's not the kind of books that I thought she had bought you. I was worried that she had bought you a, what was that thing that Don Hill had bought for his girlfriend or fiance, whatever she is, the, like billionaire bear kind of smut books. I was like, no! No! I'm glad it was just pun books. Rumors swirl in taverns that the dwarves are mounting an expedition to reclaim not only their wealth, but to fell the great beast and loot its hoard. Speaking of dad jokes, oh no. Morning I coughed up a pond, a knight, and a bishop. I must have a chest infection. Nice, Cajun Corey. Nice. I'm sorry. You got 3 laughing faces from BAP, so it must be good. It must be good. I gotta make something larger so I can see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Why did you baker cross the road? Because he had nothing else to do? I'm assuming you meant the baker. Apple really needs to add a rim shot emoji. um, all right, so in this area, we talked about that. Bremen. I'm going to have to come back and do more on this. I'm going to highlight that because I have to hit this section. There you go. That works. Oh. Reading about a couple of names here. If you see me staring off into the distance here, I'm reading while I'm writing. All right, so Cair Bremen, this dwarven enclave is built on the rocky shores of a deep, dark highland lake. Serves as a deterrent to all attackers, forcing all to travel around its flanks to the main gate. Lake's perimeter is fortified with bulwarks and defense all the way around. Defenses. And a great squat defensive tower clings to the massive spire of rock in its center. In all the history of Bremen, its doors have never been breached by foes, though Grix's hordes got close once during the God-Killer War. Main doors bear those scars to this day. Fair Bremen once stood against the tribes of evil giants that attempted to flood into the southern Godlands, but is mainly a peaceful outpost in the current age. Okay. Definitely gonna have to end that. So, Ker Arthik. Easternmost wasteland fortress guarding the mountain passes south and east of Silvermont. This fortress was once home to the Dragon Riders who fought in the God-Killer War. The areas lay silent now, as no dwarf has been born in centuries with the ability to bond with and call a dragon mount. Skeleton crew of vigilant dwarven believers man the halls now, hoping that one day their order will be reborn. Well, that's right. And I can't tell if my phone's being dumb or Frost is just being quiet. Well, most of the time it's probably me being quiet. Just staring, reading something. Hmm. Here, Thunderaxe, ruled by the half-mad Thunderaxe clan. This imposing fortress and associated wayforts keep the nomadic orc hordes from breaching the kingdom's northern approach to Mount Silvermon. Land where Kaer Thunderaxe resides is a mixture of old volcanic stone, new growth, and active volcanic activity in the surrounding lush hills. The dwarves of the Thunderaxe clan have carte blanche because they know French as to how to keep the orcs at bay within their domain. Yeah, me asking me. Yep. With a mixture of raids and patrols along the walls, they constantly test their mettle against their wild foes. Not the most civilized of dwarves, after a prescribed stint of military service along the walls, these dwarves are then allowed to choose where they go next. Most stay to live their lives at war, but some do choose the life of an adventurer. Okay. Okay. Silvermont's fortress protects the capital from dangers coming from the Southlands, but it also features a sprawling market and trade town built around its overwalled walls. We're going to make this one a little larger, too. We're going to have to add a lot of stuff to that one. This town is one of the only places where traders and buyers in the Eastern Godlands can purchase dwarven wares at reasonable prices. Okay. So, I don't need to add anything to that entry, but I'm going to make this one a little deeper. And Mount Silvermon, all the sub entries are the ones that are the important parts. I don't have to add any other stuff to them. Yeah, I could do that. Well, then if I go down to the next area, this is talking about health. Just down here, south of Soul Spires. There are many gnomish enclaves throughout the Godlands, most of them safely within the borders of larger kingdoms. Two notable exceptions are Daru and Hauf. Now, Daru is the mining place over here, and Hauf is down here below the Soul Spires on the coast. Situated along the southern coast of the Soul Spires, this enclave dates back to just before the God-Killer War. The gnomish kings and queens have kept their small city-state safe through the centuries by making clever treaties and let's see, how do I want to rewrite that? Ensuring their products are uniquely desirable through the Godlands, namely the travel rations they produce, which have an amazingly long larder life. In fact, they don't taste half bad as a godsend to sailors who manage to get their hands on them. Alf is built on the hills overlooking the coast, protected by earthen ramparts, ditches, and sturdy wooden fortifications of cunning make. All right. Alf is built on the hills overlooking the coast, protected by earthen ramparts, ditches, and sturdy wooden fortifications of a cunning make. Lands around Hull are fertile and sheltered from the worst of the sea storms by the sweeping headland and enjoy a robust growing season. Okay, south of La Salacia. On the opposite side of the mountains from the caustic strand lies the gnomish fortress mine of Deru. Built with the assistance of dwarves long ago, this complex of mines is a source of iron, copper, and tin for many traders across the Godlands. Once a vassal colony of Mount Silvermount, the gnomish leaders brokered a trade agreement with the dwarves and worked off their debt, becoming independent a few centuries ago. Deru, Derus, I accidentally put an extra S in there. Deru is flourishing and they have started their own trade in metal goods for the shipbuilding industry, not only in nearby Port Castra, as well as Seabreak Haven and Folos further up the coast. All right, I got too many periods at the end of that sentence. Okay, there we go. When we get down into Kiru. Oof, that's gonna be a tough one. You how do I phrase this? When you guys have played yes, we'll just say D&D type games, like any kind of campaign, doesn't really matter what. If it's a high fantasy, low fantasy, mid fantasy, have you ever played in a campaign where you do a lot of like naval stuff, like naval battles, or you're on ships and that kind of stuff? Or has it been mostly land-based stuff? Because I've been in a number of campaigns where it's a lot of, nautical stuff, or you're escaping from a sinking island, or you're doing X, Y, and Z, and there's boats and naval stuff involved. Um, they're they're interesting, but they can be very difficult unless you're only on the ship at certain points. So I'm looking at this stuff that I was just writing about, the different gnomish place and the fact that there's sailors, because there's a lot of water in here. But I think most of the stuff people are going to be doing until we get to like an adventure where you go to the Umbral Atoll is going to be terrestrial based for the most part. I mean, pirates adventures are kind of fun, ship adventures are kind of fun, but a lot of characters don't swim. They don't do a lot of swimming. They have to fly, they have to do whatever. Um, it's a very strange element to be put in unless the campaign really focuses on it. I mean, I do like them. They can be a little problematic though. Okay. All right, Kiru. We've got quite a lot of entries for Kiru. There's a lot of entries in that place. Keep them isolated and safe. We can take this off of here. All right. Loosely translated into common, Solinar means place of the king, and the Great Woods are just that, the ancient ancestral homeland of the elves and their first king. First day of their lives on Erudia, the elves are considered Solinar to be their true homeland, even though they once ranged far and wide across the world. Common practice for all adventuring or traveling elves to return to Solinar once every decade or so, usually during a notable celestial event. All paths lead back to Solinar is a common phrase amongst elves, even used by those who have fallen to the darkness of corruption. Their intonation of this ancient aphorism is a much darker intent, however. The elves of Solinar are masters at harvesting their natural resources without outpacing their regrowth, as well as cultivating them without interfering with their natural beauty and wildness. As such, non-elven visitors can often not differentiate between a cultivated field and a wild one. The wild grapes grown on the vines around and between the numerous trees across Solinar are harvested yearly by the elves and either dried or processed into their fine wines. Their relationship with the Freilanders is cordial, though neither group enters the other kingdom very often. These groups maintain a trade village on the Freilander side of the river. I don't think I named that, did I? No, I did not. The only river I put a name on the thing here is that one. Okay. Okay. Featuring goods from both kingdoms. I've almost finished this drink off with all of its solid strawberry in it. All right, the Elves of Solinar have many enclaves across Erudia from their ancient explorations, one of which is now the seat of the Dark Elf in the frozen far north. All right, the Great Agrian City, and I think I named it Presepe. Yep. Lies in ruins scattered across the eastern coast of the we haven't named this delta, within sight of the island of the Great Tree. Collection of towers has stood atop the lower peaks in the north of Solinar since ancient days. All right, did I mark these in here? I don't think I did. They're up in the peaks here, though. Elven mages, arcanists, and oracles use them to track the heavens in the ever-changing seasons of Erudia. Unknown to many, these towers have been used by oracles to beseech Arintha for aid, as they are considered a holy place for her and her followers. Ah, my eye. Good eye. Huh. Something in my eye. There we go. Much better. I don't know what that was all about. Ah. Reading. Stargazing towers. I should probably put a spot where these are at. I think I'm going to put it over here. Because it's in these peaks over here. Let's see. Let me get into the symbols. Okay, there we go. Now if I search, find this little guy, we'll put it. It says here, the north of Solinar. You know, I'm actually not going to put them on the map. Now that I think about it. Because I think that might be something that would be kind of more fun to have in adventure to point that out. Because it would be a place to go to. Stargazing Towers. The High Kell, translated into common, this means the high hill, following the ancient elven custom of naming things plainly and precisely. Headland is solid rock, which the elves have built their home city upon. The High Kell is a testament to their quiet patience and skillful craftsmanship. The city feels at home on the promontory rather than having been built there. It feels as if it grew rather than having been placed. Grew rather than... Again, follow the pools of the gold building below. Okay. All right. Pools, canals, and aqueducts carved into the headland funnel the natural springs and flows throughout the city and back into their natural channels to once again fall into the pools of the gold billwood below. Only one temple in the High Kell, and it is dedicated to Arendor. It stands as one of the oldest buildings in all of the Godlands, having been laid down even before the city itself. All right. Fort Hallis. That is what I named this down here. I probably need to... Lies outside the boundaries, two rivers. All right, so this is Port Hallis. So I can actually put the name on here because I actually named it finally. All right, let's set it to this and we'll kick it down a ways. We're going to take it down to this. Fort Hallis. All right, there we go. We've got it named. And it has a very specific, simple name, but they call it Hallis. All right. I've got two different documents open. I'm looking at my notes over here and looking at the actual document. Is that entry I'm not putting in here? That's going to be saved for something else. All right, Port Hallis. Protected by steep cliffs, or tall cliffs and steep approaches, as well as ancient defenses made of stone. The approach is sheltered, and the harbor has been seeded with massive stone pylons in the mouth to make navigation difficult for all but elven captains. That works. Also, I'm probably going to have to stop the stream about 5 to 10 minutes early today because I did not eat, and I have my my game with my in real life friends right after this, and I need time to go eat something really quickly. So I got about another 15, 16 minutes or so. Let's see, the Green Heart. For the elves. We'll be getting art for a few different things. Trying to decide if I want to describe more of the defenses in Port Hallis or leave them kind of to the imagination here. I kind of like leaving them to the imagination, honestly. Yeah, I think we'll leave that to people's their own imagination in a way. One must eat. Yes, I must eat. I don't even know what I'm going to eat. In I have 10 minutes. I'll probably grab whatever I have in a leftover container. I probably have some spaghetti or something I can lightly warm up. It's probably not even spaghetti. I think it was. Actually, I think I ate the spaghetti. I may not have spaghetti. I may have some meatloaf left over. Maybe I can make myself a quick meatloaf sandwich. That might be good. Hot Pockets. Wow, Hot Pockets. I don't know if I've had a Hot Pocket since I was in college. I don't know. I just remember I think the last time I had a Hot Pocket, it was nice and cold on the inside. And horribly, horribly hot on the outside. Sorry. Oh boy. YouTube creators, it says, I've been invited to try the new communities feature. Communities are only available on the YouTube mobile app. Okay. Interesting. How do I do this? Settings. Apps. Oh. Try experimental new features. Oop. Not what it said. Oh, oh. Let's see what it says. Channel, create, turn on my community. Write a welcome post. Huh. Interesting. It's weird that it's only available on the YouTube app. Huh. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. I don't know. Their explanation of it is very weird. Oh well, I'll figure that out later on my own time. So, is there a current favorite Hot Pocket amongst the people that exist in the world that eat Hot Pockets? I think I had I want to say it had ham in it. Ham is a Hot Pocket. Ham and cheese, ham and something, ham and Swiss. That's all I remember. I think I've had pizza rolls more recently than I've had a Hot Pocket. All right, reading Port House. Okay, I was up to the Green Heart. I'll just go get a big jar of olives out, and I'll be fine. The Green Heart. Located in the lake that is fed by both rivers bounding Solinar proper, this verdant island is home to the Great Tree, which I'm not naming here. It is beloved of Arendor, is one of the handful of them that survived from the world's founding. Connected to the mainland of Solinar by an arching bridge of ancient elven design, the approaches and paths are tirelessly guarded by the elite of the elven forces. Not a Hot Pocket fan. Yeah, they tasted very manufactured, but I suppose if you like microwave pocket foods, it'd be it's a pretty good version of a microwave hot pocket or pocket food. Maybe. Yuck, olives. Olives are so good. I love them. I like black olives. I like the reddish, whatever, Kalamata olives. I like green olives. I like them stuffed with pimento. I like them stuffed with garlic. You know, I just like them. Okay, there we go. So the third entry here, I could put this in there. Nah, I'm not going to put this in there. Anyway, I was looking at the trees. I had written up a bunch of stuff about trees that were just a bunch of notes. I don't think that makes sense. All right, connected to the mainland of Solinar by an arching bridge of ancient elven design, the approaches and paths are tirelessly guarded by the elite of the elven forces. The elves of Solinar allow no trespassing here and are prepared to deal harshly with any who do so. I throw Hot Pockets in the air fryer. They taste better. Oh, hey, there you go. Black olives are finger foods on holidays. Every single finger. Exactly. My friends' kids used to do that. My nieces and nephews used to do that. They don't fit on my fingers. So I can't really do that. I can't put them on my fingers. Oh, you mean just eating them? Oh. No, they used to stick them on their fingers because you can stick the black olives on their fingers, and they called them finger food because of that. But yeah, black olives, I can eat way too many of those in one sitting myself. I'm just saying that I may have a problem. A little problem, a small one. Philly steak and cheese is good. Oh, gonna have to try that. You still do it. All right then. I used to do that with raspberries. Hmm. Yeah, we did put some notes on boats, some other things, and the trees, the boats. Not gonna save those. All right. Only the druids of Arendor and the current king of the elves are allowed to set foot on this island, let alone approach the tree itself. The last little bit here, I'm leaving unsaid because it's a secret. The roots on the tree on one side conceal a water-filled cave entrance that exists under the island, and only the druids of the island know how to convince the great tree to retract them and allow boats entry. And then we have a note about Lorum, the stargazer. This elf is a bit of a stranger amongst his own kind. He spends his time traveling, talking with and learning the customs of the other races, detailing it all in his books. He realizes that since there are more short-lived They're more short-lived. Someone from a longer-lived race would be best suited to document their current times and whatever he can learn of their histories. He follows his whims in the pattern of celestial events. Only he under. I'll say a pattern. Yeah, a pattern of celestial events only he understands, and these dictate where he will visit next. Sure, we'll go with that. This. Oops. Well, and since Crescent doesn't like olives, you probably get all the olives to yourself. All right. All folks, Sunone. Okay. All right. Well, it's about time for me. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a little bit early here. Yeah, this has been entertaining. I was a little all over the place because I'm just literally touching up the ends of a bunch of these things. I'm going to go through this. I'm going through a couple of these entries this weekend because I want to look at a few spots where I don't think I have as much stuff. Like there's enough meat. Like Kiru, I've got like pages and pages and pages. And some of the other kingdoms, it's a little less. So I need to get them a little more in line with one another. Pretty much she gets all the olives to sisters and I fight over them. Ah, there you go. Yeah, my the only type of olive that I have not enjoyed was my sister-in-law brought green olives that were stuffed, but they were stuffed with blue cheese. And that didn't taste good to me. I don't know why. That just did not taste right. No, but that's me. Anyway, I am going to get the heck out of here. I'm going to go eat some, probably, I think I'm going to have some meatloaf and then get ready for my game. So, yeah. I said I'm going to cut it short a tiny little bit early here. But that just means I'm going to actually get to eat food. It'll be nice. It'll be a good thing. Olives with blue cheese, exactly. Thank you, Bap. I'll enjoy the game. Don't like olives, Cajun Corey? Oh, I'm sorry. More for me. Yeah, olives with blue cheese. They're just an olive instead of pimento in them. They have a little piece of blue cheese, little crumble stuck in them. I don't know. They liked them. Whatever. All right. I'm going to save this. And I am going to get ourselves to the end screen here. So thank you for coming along. Leave a like and a comment. That'll get more people in here. We'll get more watch hours and we'll get this channel monetized. And I will be back here doing more of this on Thursday. I may be focused on a very specific area. We'll see. We'll see what I'm doing on Thursday. But I'll see you back here then. I'll also see you tomorrow over on Moonskull for Wednesday After Dark. So have fun. And I think in an hour, Season of Ghosts is starting, I believe. So I will talk to you all a little later. Have a good night. And, well, share your olives with somebody who likes olives, obviously. Not Cajun Corey. He doesn't want them. Not Crescent. She doesn't want him. Yes. Have a good night. I will talk to you all later. Have fun. Bye.